all. I want to clarify some things about which totem should a player use. I am gonna talk about and compare first the fire versus the darkness totem. The fire totem is a versatile, simple, and powerful constructed totem, which has its own advantage and disadvantages. Since it's prioritizing the front row, it will be most effective versus a straight line opponent, like this. If you are versus player with multiple units in the front line, then it's most likely the fire totem to hit the first time or even miss. Believe me, missing the first hit might send you in the wrong direction. I am gonna show you an example a bit later and explain a bit more about it. Now let's move to the darkness totem. This totem works better in rallies or major fights with multiple players and multiple units, because of its unique skill, which targets up to 6 units. But its biggest disadvantage is that the spell doesn't hit the same troops again, which were attacked from the first time. Which means if you go versus a player whose march setup is a single line, you will perform worse compared to the fire totem, and the troops killed count will be significantly lower. I really wouldn't recommend using this totem before you can upgrade its skill to level 11. As for next, we don't want to skip the purple defensive totem, which is the order totem. This totem is terrible in monster events. It's based only for player versus player. The skill effect on the other side is solid with those 50% damage absorption. It's most effective when you combine it with those skills. If your front and back line are strong enough, with this totem you might win some unwinnable battles. If you want to be more competitive and a high-end player, I would recommend you upgrading from purple to orange totem. But it's not a cheap and easy task to accomplish. Now let's switch to orange totems for a bit. One of the best totems out there for me personally is the Earth Totem, dealing true damage against all enemy troops. It's like a perfect unison of the Fire and Darkness Totem. The second best totem out there is the Guard Totem. With his amazing skill, a shield which shares 60% damage taken, prioritizing your front row with most soldiers. The disadvantage here is that the damage taken is being shared with your back line. Now let's get back to Fire Totem. The Fire Totem is great for monster events and placing high in score leaderboards because of the accumulated kills you've got. As for PvP, sometimes it's hard to unlock its full potential when you get matched versus players using their whole grid with all type of units. Or when you miss the first hit like this. I'm using Fire Totem at the moment, and before I switch to orange totems, I strongly recommend it to you. But you are always free to experiment and use the one that fits your playstyle at most. Hope you found some useful information, and thanks for watching.